been a couple weeks, I think.
It has been. Legit a couple weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, yet nothing super intriguing, I don't think.
I'm trying to think what I've done. I don't know if I've done anything in the past couple weeks, which has been kind of nice.
This might be the shortest pre-show yet.
Well, that was it already.
All right. Thanks for checking in, everybody. I did mention, I don't know if I mentioned on the last pre-show or not, but I mentioned on the last regular episode, I recall, that I did set up a Blue Sky. I don't remember if I talked about that on the pre-show or not.
I don't think so.
I think I might have forgotten because we went
No,
down
you
the
did.
rabbit hole
Well,
of
no, I
talking
think-
about the endurance.
I think maybe you did
Oh.
mention that. We'll say
Well,
you
if
did
not, hey everybody, you can follow me on Blue Sky at Thomas WWTCA.
I recall that part.
And see probably not much because I probably won't be posting all that often because
You're
I
a
don't know what to
lurker.
post.
You're a lurker.
I lurk around, yeah. There's already a couple of things that I probably should unfollow. But
that doesn't sound
Well-
controversial.
no, well, it's just like NPR
Oh,
like posts. There's so many.
yeah.
I didn't realize that it's like a post every like 20 minutes. It seems like my whole feed is just like PBS News and NPR. Like that's all I
Yeah.
see.
Just
And I'm like,
annoying.
God damn.
Yeah.
I post once a day. That would be more than
Or
enough, I think.
Like 3 times a day at most.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but yeah, no, most, I haven't really been
Are you
posting.
Are you enjoying it so far?
Much.
You haven't, because I do believe last time we talked about this, we talked about either on air or on recording or not. We talked about I speculated how long you might last on there. As far as we'll see if this is a short-lived venture or not. Do you think
Yeah.
it's
Well,
been okay.
that's still up in the air, but no, so far I don't really have too much negative or positive to say. I don't think.
That's
I
good,
don't-
I guess.
I don't check it all that often.
Also good.
But I also don't, like I said, I don't know what to really post, and I don't really. Somehow I have 21 followers, but I think most of those are random people or other. Like, there's a lot of these that are like author of a thing, and they follow like 20,000 people,
Yeah,
and so
yeah.
it's just like people that follow like whoever to try
Yeah.
to get like noticed. I
Or
guess.
if you're new, then they just instantly follow you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but I do, a few of my, like, back in the Twitter days, people I've found.
people you
and
know.
We follow each other, yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, or at least, like, virtually, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Michael Snydell, I got in touch with that fellow.
Hey, fella.
Followed him, and I replied to one of his posts, and he was like, Thomas, I wondered if that was you, and, like, we had, like, a back and forth a little bit.
Is he
So
doing
that
any kind
was
of
nice.
podcasting still?
Good question.
Thank you.
There you go. I think so, but I
Okay,
can't
moving on.
say that for sure. I know he was.
I just wanted to ask a good question. That was it. I didn't expect an answer.
Well, I don't know. His bio does say former writer / podcaster. Now I'm just trying to post through it.
Oh, okay. Well,
So maybe not.
should we have him on the
But-
show as a guest?
Swell fellow. I would love that, actually. I think that'd be really interesting.
I feel like he'd be highly annoyed the whole time, especially with me.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I think that'd be interesting.
I think
he should go on the list of like prospects.
Sure.
I think I would love to talk to.
I think he would be
Michael.
annoyed with both me, just because I'm an idiot, and he would know all the films probably, and just hear me.
I don't know. I think he would declare. I think he would say the same exact thing you just said about himself.
Yeah, but that doesn't make it wrong. But then I also think he would be just annoyed at the format, the concept itself, being that it's a total like bullshit fest of just make 'em ups and ha-has.
And you know what? He doesn't have to agree. So that would be
that's
on
true.
him if he agreed and then was annoyed.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so I followed. I got in touch with a few people. Jason Impey, our boy, he
yeah.
followed me back. Swell fellow. He's fairly active on there. He posts a lot of like physical media pickups. So yeah, that's been nice. It's nice to see some of those fellows.
Is it the app
I posted?
where the butterfly is the logo?
It is a butterfly. Yes.
Okay. I'm seeing that more and more. That's what I was wondering.
Yeah. Yeah. I posted a thing. So there was like last year. We found this thing online. It's like these people had made this compiled a list of people selling Girl Scout cookies, right?
Okay.
And that you could order online, but it's a list of like trans Girl Scout.
Oh, cool.
Like people selling Girl Scout cookies that you can buy from them.
That's awesome.
So I found a 2026 version of that list and ordered Girl Scout cookies here in March. Still had some available.
Is that list like a link somewhere?
Yeah. Yep. That's what I was saying. Actually, I posted that one.
Can we post that in the show notes?
It got one like. Yeah, absolutely. If I remember to do that, I'll try to make sure I remember to do that.
Just because I would like.
But yeah, it's nice.
I think, and maybe I'm wrong about this because I have not ever looked into this at all. Mm-hmm. But I think having like an online presence for selling Girl Scout cookies is like the best possible way to do it.
Yeah.
There's a group or a gaggle or whatever the nomenclature is for multiple Girl Scouts selling cookies at the local Walmart here in town. Mm-hmm. And they're there it seems like they're there more months out of the year than not. And as a kid growing up, I only ever remember like Girl Scout cookies being like one time a year thing.
Yeah.
But now it seems like they're all the time a year. Anyway, but I want to purchase the cookies because I have a favorite cookie and I could eat them by like the sleeve if I had them. But it's never at a convenient time. I'm going into Walmart, which I don't want to be. So I'm going into Walmart, and that's the happiest I am. Is before I've entered the building. And I'm not saying that I'm happy. I'm just saying that's the happiest.
That's the peak.
Yeah, that's the peak of my
downhill.
Yes, it is. But so you can't purchase them going in because I got to carry these Girl Scout cookies around the store with me all the and then going out, I just want to flee the place and just run to my car and get home. I don't want to linger around. I've already dodged the very invasive receipt check process. I don't want to like linger at all. So that's also like the worst place I think to be is at a Walmart entrance for me. So if there was a way to order them online, like I said, maybe there is. I just never looked. That'd be amazing. So I want that link, not just for the support, but also for me.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I hooked you up. I already sent it your way, just in case. But I ordered multiple boxes last year.
What did your go-to?
And I hate admitting this. I'm the boring one. I love my Thin Mints. I fucking love Thin Mints.
I think I've only had a Thin Mint once. I can't remember if are those really that good?
I mean, everybody kind of shits on them because it's like the basic one, you know.
No, bro, I'm a step below Thin Mint.
What is that?
Trefoils?
Oh yeah,
like the are foils, trefoils, I think they're called. I call them shortbread cookies because that's what they are. But they're just
so there were these ones that I got last year called Adventurefuls that I'd never heard of.
Oh,
and I got those last year, and then I bought like 4 more boxes from a different person, and they're fucking great. And I ordered more of those and Thin Mints, and then there's like a new one that was on here called Explore Mores.
Okay.
And I have no idea what that is, but I ordered 2
Is there like a description?
No.
Oh, okay.
But there's a picture.
Yes.
But not a description, no.
Can you explain the picture and just guess what's on it?
Well, it just looks like it's like a chocolate sandwich cookie with like what looks like a chocolate cream in the middle is what it kind of looks like.
So sort of like an Oreo.
So yeah, it's kind of like an Oreo is what it looks like. Okay. Yeah. That's what I'm guessing, and I thought that it looked good, and I wanted to try it. And it even says new on it, and Explore Mores has a TM after it. So
trademark.
There you go.
There it is.
Yep.
But yeah, the shortbread cookies.
Yeah, they're on there.
Oh yeah,
the ones you like.
That's like the one of the original ones. I think that one and like Thin Mint or whatever was like the original cookies.
Yeah,
I could probably kill myself easily.
Oh.
By just the amount of those I want to consume. I could just die by overdose of cookie. That
I thought that way about Thin Mints. Yeah, I can eat like
I really don't think I've ever had one because
them.
I'm not.
I really like them.
Well, here's
I
the
just
thing.
like mint like sweets, like mint ice cream. I fucking love it so much.
So
I
here's
like
the weird thing about me. One of many.
Yep.
Is I believe that I do not like mint and chocolate together.
That's good.
The key word there was believe. But every time that I have like a Andes chocolate in like a restaurant or whatever, or at a hotel, if they leave those around, they're always so good. I love the combination of mint and chocolate, but then I immediately forget that, and I go, that sounds gross. That just sounds like I wouldn't like it at all. So I've never had mint chocolate chip ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
I've never had what's the McDonald's McFlurry thing? The Luck of the Irish cum or whatever it's called. What's the drink? What's the seasonal?
I don't know. I know that there is a like St. Pat like a
Shamrock
special,
Shake.
like the green
Shamrock
one.
Shake
Yeah,
is I think
Shamrock
what it's
Shake.
called. Yeah,
There you go.
I was way off. I've never had that because it sounds gross.
I don't know if I've ever had that either.
And then the same thing with the Thin Mints is that it just sounds like I'm not going to like it. But like I said, it's only a belief. There are no facts in this at all. And in fact, I've proven myself to be wrong every time I have an Andes chocolate. Every time. I'm like, God, this is really good. And then like I said, I've also never had more than one Andes chocolate. And they're so infrequent. Like, like I said, like the rare occasion a hotel has them on like the pillow or the nightstand, or the like once every 5 years that I go to Olive Garden that I have one. Those are the only two places that I ever have these, but I've always enjoyed them.
Yeah, I don't have those very often either, but I also really like those. But I also, again, am a very strongly noted mint and chocolate fan.
Okay.
Especially when together.
Do you dunk those? Are those a dunkable cookie?
Dunk
like a milk or whatever, or
I mean, I don't, but I also don't dunk Oreos, so I wouldn't be the one to ask.
Well, I prefer a dunkable cookie. That's where I'm at. So that's why I like trefoils or the shortbread cookie so much, is because it's really just a conveyance of some liquid, either it being coffee or milk or hot cocoa. I just want to dunk a cookie and put it in my mouth. So if the cookie can't be done, like I'm not a big fan of sandwich cookies. I mean, Oreo's, I guess, the exception because it's kind of like the dunkable cookie. But to me, I don't know. I don't really like dunking like sandwich cookies typically.
I don't like dunking anything. I don't dislike.
You're not a wet cookie guy?
I don't dislike like dunking an Oreo, but I
I'm getting personal here. You're not a wet cookie guy?
It's fine.
Okay. All right.
I'm not anti, but I don't typically I don't go there by default.
So you're fine with wait, I guess my next question to this is, whenever it comes to cookie, do you want a crunchy cookie?
To cookie, yeah.
Do you want a crunchy cookie or a soft cookie?
I prefer a soft cookie generally.
So you are
if I was getting Chips Ahoy, I like the soft.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, no, I do too. Except for, I did recently find at the store these really super thin oatmeal raisin cookies that are they're like almost the same crumbly crispiness as like a fortune cookie.
Yeah.
And I really love those a lot.
For some reason in my head, so where my thought went was, you said that you found these in the store or whatever, and instantly I just started thinking for some reason my mind just started thinking about I found these as if you stumbled upon in the wild, but instead it was just I saw them on the shelf once.
No, they were just they were actually buried in the corner of the frozen food section, and someone actually put them there.
You did have to find them, yeah.
like they weren't supposed to be with the broccoli.
Yeah.
No, they were actually
for some reason that's where I went.
A product. That was a thing that I hadn't seen before. Because usually I go for the super soft, because the same store the same bakery section has a very soft oatmeal raisin cookie that I absolutely love, and also a very soft chocolate chip cookie too. So I went hard this time, and I enjoyed it.
That reminded me, there was a knowledge fight where I've explained they have like their bright spots at the opening of the episode, and I remember there was a bright spot Dan had where he was like at the store and he found this cheese that he had never seen or heard of before there or anywhere else, and he bought it. And it was really fucking good. And he went back and he couldn't find it. And he was like, he was speculating about like, what if somebody just like smuggled this cheese in and put it on the shelf, like to
guerrilla marketing awareness. Or whatever. Yeah.
And that's what I was thinking of with those cookies for some reason.
I just think that like they accidentally burnt a batch of the other ones or overcooked them.
Like somebody will fucking buy it.
Somebody will buy it. Mark it up and call it special. Limited edition.
It's basically hot dogs, but cookies.
Yeah. So I like to dunk a cookie. I like a cookie that has a good absorption rate. That's what I'm wanting.
I just like hearing you say, I like to dunk a cookie.
I like to dunk a cookie. I'm a dunker. But sometimes soft cookies like Chips Ahoy, which I don't actually like Chips Ahoy for other reasons. I think the flavor's way bad. But the soft,
I don't really get them.
The soft, I haven't eaten in years, but the softness is a good soft. But they're not great for dunking. They don't absorb.
Yeah, I'm not sure I've ever attempted to dunk a Chip Ahoy.
Chip Ahoy? Yeah, I've tried. And let me tell you, they just don't absorb.
You've done many an experiment.
They're not
you
absorbent.
had like a pen and paper and you're like trying all kinds of techniques.
Yeah.
You're breaking them in half. You're like folding them.
Here's the thing that I do. And this Oreos is in the same category, but like the shortbread cookies from Girl Scouts, Biscoff are another great one to dunk. And again, I just said that I like soft cookies, but I also, I guess, like hard cookies. So I like all cookies, but
you like a hard cookie that goes soft.
Post dunk. Yes, you beat me to it. So I play this game of anxiety and chance.
Whenever I do dunk Oreos, the same way. Yes,
and you're sitting there waiting for the structural integrity to be so weak and failed by the liquid that it just breaks off into the glass. That's what you're waiting for. Yeah. That's what I'm choosing to get to. So there's this line where it's like I got to keep dunking it because I want it to go soft. But if I do it like one more, what is the one that breaks the camel's back sort of situation where I got to start fishing a cookie out of the bottom of the cup? That's the line that I want to be on.
It's like the Tootsie Pop question.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's not like that. Sorry.
No, because at least with the Tootsie Pop, you can observe it. You can lick and observe this.
But the similarity is that you could, if you're not holding it in the liquid, you could count the dunks that it takes.
So as far as there being an aspect that could be recorded and quantified with numbers, yes, they are similar. I redact my previous statement.
Aha. I take victory on this one.
But I mean, but a super soggy cookie is what I really want. And to the point that I have even taken Biscoffs and just crumbled them up into a bowl and then poured milk on them. So that brings me to my next question about sogginess.
Was this a dark period?
No, this was yesterday. That's why I'm so fat now. So yeah, a dark period. A dark period being the last decade.
Yesterday.
Yeah. No, actually, I haven't done that in a while because I'm trying to be good. But do you like soggy cereal or crunchy cereal?
Nah, I like it to be crunchy.
Isn't that weird though? That like we want our cookies soggy and soft, but we like our cereal crunchy. You ever thought about that?
Yeah, this is like we're in philosophy class now.
Yeah. What does that mean? What does that say about us?
Is it weird that we prefer a soft, soggy cookie, yet our cereal we want to be crunchy and hard?
The thing that's supposed to be in a bowl with liquid, we don't want to be in a bowl with liquid. Does that mean that we hate ourselves? Is that what that means? So,
I think so.
What kind of cereal do you go for, though? I guess that's the other question.
What kind of cereal?
Yeah, what's your cereal choice?
Yeah, I think my favorite might be Honey Bunches of Oats with almonds.
Yes, that's a fantastic because even whenever it gets soggy, there's still plenty of crunch.
Yep.
I'm right. That's exactly why I love that cereal.
Those fucking bunches,
yes,
stay crunchy no matter what.
100%
It's the flakes
agree.
you got to watch out for.
It is, but I don't mind whenever flakes get a little sog.
I don't mind either. I prefer they not be though. I prefer to eat them before they get all soggy.
Do you like
when
Wheaties?
they're soggy? It doesn't matter whatsoever. Like
Mini wheats
I don't.
are the best.
Yeah, I like frosted mini wheats.
Yes,
I think are really
frosted
good,
mini wheats, but I want them sog. I want them.
Yeah, those. Yeah, because they're too hard.
Yeah.
Otherwise.
Yeah.
Or they're an annoying amount of like hard crunchy.
Yeah, they're almost abrasive.
Yes. Obtrusive almost.
Yeah, they get in there.
Which also the bunches from Honey Bunches of Oats are almost kind of the same way too. They're very like solidified. Like
they can
very
be
hard and crunchy.
They can be almost
so like the sogginess from the cereal makes them like the perfect crunch.
Yeah, but they can almost be shockingly crunchy if you have like one that you didn't expect to be in that spoonful. So you got like a bunch of sog, and then you get that one like super hard rock of bunch. Yeah. Honey Bunches of Oats
wakes you up in the morning.
It really does. I rarely eat cereal in the morning.
Yeah, I literally had a bowl of Honey Bunches of Oats with almonds this morning when I got home from work. So for dinner.
Well, yeah. So your end of day. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. I used to mostly eat that as like an evening snack. Yeah. Which again, I haven't in a long time. Yeah.
I've also been eating a lot of oatmeal. I've been eating
You plain that?
Typically, I've been having a bowl of oatmeal when I get home.
You raw dog that? Are you raw that oatmeal?
I like
you put anything inside of
maple and brown sugar.
Okay,
maple and brown sugar
that's
Quaker brand. Yeah, that's what I
do
like. I get the 50% less sugar version, and I do two packets.
Oh, okay. Do you do like a little splash of milk with that?
I do not.
Are you a milk drinker?
No.
Are you a milk consumer of any kind as far as cereal? And is it cow? Is it oat? Is it almond?
Cow milk. I'm off. I haven't had cow milk in quite a while. No. Whenever I have cereal, I do either almond or oat milk. But other than that, I don't just have like regular. So this is a conversation we actually just had here at home, like within the past couple of days, because
so my microphone is in the right location. Okay, good.
Yeah. So again, knowledge fight. So this came up because I was listening to a 2022 episode just a couple of days ago on my drive home, and Jordan's bright spot, he was mentioning making cupcakes for Valentine's Day for his girlfriend. And so he was talking about that a little bit, but then he mentioned like, you got to do it with oat milk. He's like, don't do fucking 2%. Don't use water. He's like, fucking oat milk is the way to go. It tastes amazing and blah, blah, blah. And we have oat milk here. Usually if I'm getting stuff for cereal, I've been buying almond milk, and we tend to have oat milk for like she likes to put it in like her coffee and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
So I personally haven't, I wouldn't be able to say which one I prefer, because I'd need to I really want to try to have like a side-by-side comparison to see which one. But as it stands at the time of this recording, I like to have almond milk in my cereal, but I actually plan on getting some oat milk here soon to try.
I haven't had
one, once and for all, I prefer.
Yeah, I haven't had oat milk straight yet.
I haven't either.
So I don't know.
I've only ever had it in coffee.
Same.
Also, which I don't really put it in there, but I have had it in there. And
but also,
that's the only way I've had it.
Not of my own. Because if I had it at the house, I would just drink it straight just to try it. But I've only ever had oat milk from like a place where I've ordered a beverage. And that's just because it's not easy to find. At least not here, not around where I shop. They seem very anti alt milks. But I absolutely love the vanilla almond milk.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, that's so good. Like the slightly sweetened version.
I don't mind it. I always try to just go for like original unsweetened.
That's probably the healthier version. Yeah, mine's very much like a dessert.
If they don't have that in stock, we'll go with the vanilla.
But I've for the past probably 5 or 6 years now. Maybe not quite that long. COVID era.
Mm-hmm.
I've like actively avoided almond milk because of just how much water it takes to grow an almond. I'm kind of like morally, I'm kind of against almonds. Ethically, too. Ethically and morally, I'm against almonds. I just don't like the fact that they take so much water to grow, and then we squeeze that water back out in the form of air quotes milk, and then resell it for a crazy fee. Yeah. So
there's a whole dollop about pistachios.
That I think it's the same one they talk about
that,
almonds.
Wonderful, that wonderful pistachio brand. I
love pistachios.
For the longest time, I was like, I will not buy those because of that dollop I listened to.
Yeah.
And hearing how awful those people are in that company.
But I think it's the same one.
And then I caved in a few years ago. I caved in and I fucking bought a bag of that. I was like, these are fucking good.
They're so good.
They're like perfectly seasoned. It's amazing.
Pistachios are delicious. And
I love pistachios, yeah.
I always have. And then I've always enjoyed almond milk. Well, not always, but since I first found it.
And then I learned in that dollop that how many gallons for one single
I'm pretty sure
pistachio.
it's the same way that I found out this is they talk about
the company that
almonds and pistachios.
That company that owns the wonderful pistachios, like
the man and wife,
they essentially own like all of the water in California. And they it's fucked up.
And basically ever since then I've been like, God, I can't drink almond milk anymore. So I've been really against almond milk. And then I assume oat milk is probably less harsh. I mean, that's not to say that like cow's milk is good for this issue that I'm worrying about. I'm sure cow's milk consumes way more water, and I'm also sure that it not only consumes water, but it's also adding to greenhouse emissions plus animal cruelty. There's like a lot of reasons like cow milk, right?
Animals are like held in a thing and live to be milked all the time.
I still drink cow's milk, but anyway.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that like almond milk is like worse than I just don't know. I only know that almond milk is it's both very good and also it makes me conscious about how much water I'm wasting just drinking a sugary milk substitute. So I don't know. I imagine that oats don't take as much water. Maybe, I don't know. But I just haven't been able to find it. I've only ever had it as like an option in coffee, and I couldn't really taste a difference as far as another creamer or creamer substitute or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I'm really curious to try it on its own. I will say that I didn't really like almond milk for cereal. For cookies it was fine, but for cereal it changed the flavor profile of the cereal too much. I didn't quite like that. I still did it, but it was more of like it became more of a function, like rather than like me enjoying the liquid. So yeah, I still do the cow's milk with cereal, but I haven't had cereal in about a year or more either. So,
well, I like that we can go from I found a list of trans Girl Scout cookies.
That was a rabbit hole, man.
To I prefer almond milk to dunk.
Well, so here's where I'm at though. I guess so. In the past 2 weeks, I was trying to recall whenever you first asked what has happened. So we took a couple breaks.
Well, I didn't ask that.
Well, I did, and then I imagined you doing it. But I was trying to think back, like what has happened in the time, and the only thing that maybe has taken place is that I have started to. I'm on week 2 now, so I guess this has been happening. Every morning, which I'm really bad about waking up in the morning. I just hate waking up. I always have. I struggle. I smash the alarm, snooze for like a good hour and a half. Some days, just like repeatedly, the alarm goes off, and it doesn't matter what time of day I wake up. So I say that I hate mornings, but really it's just waking up. Because I used to work nights for 5 hours, or for 5 years, sorry. And I worked nights for 5 hours and I gave up. It's like, this is bullshit. It's so dark. Sorry. I worked nights for 5 years and it was the same issue. I have a hard time waking up, getting out of the sleep state.
Uh-huh.
And I usually wait until like the last possible minute to get up and get ready and then rush out the door. So 2 weeks ago on Monday, as of this recording, I started to actually get up upon first or second alarm, not like ninth alarm. And with that extra time I have, which is like over an hour now of extra time, I do my morning routine, get my lunch ready or whatever the case may be. And then I get on my stationary bike for at least 15 minutes and do like what they call it, high intensity interval training exercise for at least 15 minutes. Usually it's 15 to 25, because it's the morning. I'm still usually also like pressed for time, but so every morning I've been doing that, and then in the evening, whenever I get home after work, I do whatever I have to do immediately after work. Like today, I paid bills or whatever, right? So I do all that stuff first, and then I get on the bike for at least 20 minutes, sometimes 30 minutes, and do another run on the bike for that duration of time. And then I've also been trying to cut back on calories. I'm trying to get healthier. I've definitely noticed the job that I've had for the past almost 2 years now of just sitting at a desk is really taking a toll on my activity. And then this winter I really noticed it heavily, not just visually that I've gained weight, but also like, just like I want to come home and just nap. After spending 8 hours at a desk, I just want to come home and snap. And I'm just like, that's not good. So that's what I've been doing the past 2 weeks, I guess, is that. Now, I did take a rest day last Friday, just because I was like, I could start feeling this in my knees. And I didn't want to completely like, wear out my knee and then have to be down for multiple days, sort of thing.
Your knees are just like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. Going from like absolutely no movement at all to like, 10 miles on a bike twice a day. So yeah. And then I took a break last night because I spent most of that time shampooing my carpets and vacuuming the house. So I was still active as far as cleaning goes. So I just wasn't on a bike. And then I was going to not take a break today before recording, but I ended up doing it anyway. So I'm just admitting that I'm not being perfect with this plan, but I'm only 2 weeks in. So the fact that I've done it for more than like 3 days is already like, yeah, okay, I'm kind of proud of that, I guess. So yeah, trying to get moving, because I don't mind moving. It's just this state of having to sit at a desk for a whole day.
Well, I don't mind moving is a good way to start.
Yeah.
At least your exercise journey.
Yeah, but it's like it's made it
Meet
hard.
your personal trainer, and they're like, "You ready?" And you're like, "I don't
mind
moving.
I don't mind moving.
I just don't do it.
The moving part that I know. Well, it's not that I don't. It's I can't. There's nothing. I can't do anything for 8 hours or 9 hours basically, and I just don't have the means at my desk to have any kind of like desk exercise, whatever. I could stand at my desk, I guess, but I'm still not moving, So anyway,
I think even standing up as opposed to like sitting
is healthier.
Supposed to help with even like digestion and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, and also just circulation and everything. It's actually why the desk that I'm at, which I built this 5 years ago, I built it at the height that it's at simply to be a part-time standing desk, and I do, with the exception of recording, where I'm sitting here for multiple hours recording. I do mostly just come in here and move the chair out of the way and stand at the desk because it's just easier to just stand. But yeah, so the desk job has really like made my already poor health decline even more as far as physical fitness goes, because I used to just really be active at the job I had. Always have been. I prefer that. I don't mind moving, as they say. But not being able to really sucks. And then you come home and, it's like I eat at like 5 o'clock, like a 70-year-old, and then I watch some YouTube, and then I go to bed at like 8:30. So it's like every day is the same thing. So I was just like, I have to change something. So I've started to do that. I started off, I've had the bike for like 3 years now, I think, and this is the most I've ever used it, of course. But it's in my front room facing the TV. So I go in, I get my water in the morning, get hydrated or rehydrate. And then if I don't watch an actual like interval training instructor, which I've started to do, like someone who actually tells you, adjust settings here, higher, lower, whatever. If I don't watch that, which I found those to be more beneficial than the alternative, which is I found this really great channel that it's just someone who's mounted a camera on their bike, and they just bike, they're European. I don't know where they're from, but they're always in like the Swiss Alps or like Italy or like these amazing, beautiful scenic locations, Spain or whatever. And it's just awesome to watch because I'm just like in my front room when it's like 35 outside, and I'm just like hating everything about life right now. I'm just like, man, this is beautiful. Like, these scenes are beautiful. These are really great.
Yeah.
So yeah, like the other day I rode around, well, I didn't ride around anywhere. I watched someone ride around some beach mountain landscape for like 40 minutes. And I didn't want to stop. Like the only reason I stop is because I was like, I got to make dinner. But also is because my ass is numb right now. Like the seat sucks. So, but yeah. So, but they're not as intense as the interval training. But I do, my goal with those videos that are just like scenic, because they show like the speedometer and they show like RPMs and stuff, and I could try to match that, but a lot of the times these guys are like coasting down a hill, at like 30 miles an hour, 0 RPMs. And I've tried, the bike that I have just cannot go that fast. Like I can spin my legs as fast as I want, but I'm too tall for the bike that I have, and I cannot get a good like pedal pattern going or whatever at those high speeds. So the fastest I've been able to go is like 22 miles an hour. But typically whenever I'm watching the scenery videos, I just try to go I find a pace that I can stick at and just stay at the whole time. So and also like a gear setting that's like moderately resistive, not like super resistive like the interval training people do sometimes, but basically I find a sweet spot that I can just like set. I can do this for 30 minutes straight. I get my heart rate up to like 160 for just like 20 minutes and then just, go. Whereas the interval training in the morning that I found to be more beneficial, those could be fucking like, I'm just like, I'm not mad at the end of them, but I'm just like, I'm in pain, and I'm like, that was a good but exhausting 15 minutes,
Yeah.
I'm just like sore, but it's not like a lingering sore. It's just like you just worked your body hard type sore. So it's nice. But, so yeah, I've been doing that for 2 weeks. I plan on doing that. My goal, is just to do it. I don't have a goal as far as like, I want to be this weight by X date. I don't have a goal as far as, any of that. My goal is just fucking at least twice a day.
Yeah.
Do it. And then I guess
better than not doing it.
Yeah. And then I guess my criteria for that goal is that I would at least like to each of those sessions be at least 15 minutes. With the one in the evening, I try to do more towards 30. But it's one of those things where, like the other day, I got a phone call like halfway through the evening training, and by the time that I got off the phone, I was like, I'm not going to restart, the bike ride or whatever. I'll just do it tomorrow. So yeah, I'm not trying to be too hard on myself, and I'm also just trying to like do it and be consistent with it, because I think that's the most important part of any kind of routine change. It's just doing it, just be consistent. So, but it's helped a lot. I mean, just in a short amount of time, I've not gotten the like mid-afternoon sleepiness that I usually got at work. Like after lunch, you eat lunch and it's a slow day or whatever, and you just want to sit there and fall asleep. Not really gotten that since I started doing this, which basically just means like the past week, as far as that goes. And then I've also noticed that I'm sleeping a little bit better. I just think that's simply just because just being active. I don't attribute like I don't think I've lost any weight or anything since I've started doing this. But again, that's not really the goal or the focus. It's just fucking move. Just just do something. So yeah. So that's been my 2 weeks. Is I've been biking through the Alps or through the Spanish. I was in a winery the other day. Like sorry, no. What do they call those? Not a winery, but where they grow grapes.
A vineyard?
Vineyard, thank you. I was biking through a vineyard the other day, and it was
I was in a winery. There's people like taste testing, and you're like swerving around through it,
barrels and shit, just dodging it the whole time. No, there was a channel though that I found because I was trying to just find something in the early days or last week, in the early stages of this, right?
Yeah,
back in the day,
way back
yeah,
when.
way back when. So I didn't really know what channels were good or bad or content wise or whatever. There was this one that I wanted to fucking just punch the creator. The entire time so it was one of those scenery videos again, where it's just like a bike ride, and this one was USA based. I think like West Coast. Great scenery for what I could gather in the very beginning, but then it's like whoever this person that had the camera on their bike. Whoever this person was biking with, they allowed that biker to be in front of them the whole time. So you have like, you're going through like the redwoods, imagine. Very beautiful, gorgeous. And then like a majority of the center of the frame of the camera is just someone's ass the entire time. And it's just like, around. Like, just go around them. So I got really frustrated with those videos.
Hey, you could watch those really creepy Manchester videos I mentioned of like secretly filming women who are out like clubbing in Manchester.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. No, that's okay.
Could watch some of those.
That's okay. I did try to just, because like I said, I watch a lot of YouTube. And that's when I come home, I have dinner and I watch YouTube. So I did try to just like be on the bike while I was watching what I normally watch,
your regular stuff.
Yeah, I don't get the same. I can't get. I don't know. It's either like I have to focus on the show or I have to focus on, the biking. It's not like it's complex or whatever, but like I just didn't feel like I got as much out of it. I'm sure my legs moved and whatever, but I didn't really push it like I usually do. Whereas even with the scenery videos, like I said, I try to keep like a good fast pace going the whole time. So yeah, which is what made the one with like the guy in front the most infuriating. Was this guy kept like stopping and slowing down, and like, I just want to like open road. I just want to see what's ahead of me, not some dude, having a leisurely bike ride. I was just so fucking pissed. I was like, I even like I backed out to go find something else like halfway through that session. And I really wanted to go comment, like, just fucking, I want to see this dude's ass the whole time.
Yeah. Well, let's see. I had a trainee for a week.
That's right.
At the time of this recording, last week, not this week that we're ending now, but last week. And, man, I'm glad that was just for a week. I mean, he seemed like he was a fine enough fellow, but like, I just want to be by myself and like listen to my stuff.
Totally understandable.
And so, but whenever I'm like, you're like in a enclosed space with one other person, like in a truck, for example.
Yeah. Truck cab.
And you're just like feel obligated to like make chit chat, I think.
Yeah.
And so
draining.
And also like I listen to, for the billionth time, my favorite podcast, Knowledge Fight. I listen to that literally every day. Like if I have listened to the newest episode, I'm also listening to past episodes and working my way forward. Like I said, I'm in like 2022 right now. Also simultaneously with like new episodes, I'm also listening to February of 2022. And so every single day I listen to Knowledge Fight, and I definitely didn't want to play that show like with another person just because like the theme, like thematically, I'm just like, I don't want to like, whatever this person's views are, I don't want them to like have to listen to this show because they're in this truck with me. So I just feel obligated to just like play music And then when it comes to music also, I just try to keep it as like vanilla as possible. Just like I don't want anything that's like going to be like annoying, hopefully, to this person. So I'll just put on something like really easy listening, like to listen to.
But what if that is annoying?
If so, then they didn't make it known because they seemed very into what I was playing every time.
You should have like kept pushing that envelope like every day.
Yeah, I should have put some really weird
strangers. Yeah,
get a little weirder.
Yeah.
Yeah, I introduced him to a couple of stuff that he seemed to really dig. Like there were a couple of times I was playing stuff where it would be kind of quiet for like a couple of minutes, and he'd be like, "What is this?" and I'm like, "Oh, that's this song by this band." And he's like, "This is really good." And then like a few minutes later, he'd be like, "What was this called again?" And he's like, "I need to write this down." There was a few times like that happened.
Did you find out like what he normally listens to by chance?
Yeah. So he, I do not really care for them, but he is like a fucking massive fan of the band Tool.
Oh, okay.
And all he wanted to he talked about Tool a lot. And he's like, "Do you know this song? Like, do you know this? Have you ever listened to the album blah, blah, blah by them?" Nope. And I'm like, "No, man, I don't." Which, I mean, I wasn't saying like, I really don't like them. I was just like, I don't really know that much about them. Yeah. I have heard their music, but I don't really, I don't know. And he's just, "Oh, you got to, whenever you get home, you got to check out blah 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 by Tool, and this he has another band, it's called this and this, you got to listen to this album by them." And I'm like, I mean Tool's like okay, I don't really
yeah I'm not gonna go check them out.
I don't really care enough about them to go seek out any of this stuff. So every day he would be like, "Did you check that out?" And I'm like, "No."
I haven't had time yet.
He's like, "Oh, that's no problem. If you're at home on the weekend, you got nothing going on, you just pull it up and check it out." And I'm like, "Yeah, man, I will, man." Yeah,
yeah, sure.
And yeah, it was funny because I put on like, I had texted you at one point because I pulled up Enter Shikari, and I didn't pick like a specific album or song or anything. I just like hit shuffle on them, and they had this song called "Kicking Back on the Surface of Your Cheek." It's from 2007. It's like a B-side of theirs from like 2007. And it was playing kind of like a little quietly because we were kind of also talking. And then there was like a moment where it was quiet for a few seconds, and he says, "Is this Iron Maiden?"
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, "No, it is not." And he's like, "Oh man, I thought this guy's voice sounded like blah 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 from Iron Maiden for a second." I'm like, "No, really not even at all remotely close."
Did you listen to the song?
I was like, "No, this is Enter Shikari." Very different group from a very different era, from a different country.
I'm trying to play that in my head side by side and to see like what he could have. Like what he could have grasped on from Iron Maiden. That was. I just tried to be nice and be like, mean, it was fairly low volume, and we were also like talking for a little bit over it. And I guess for that like few seconds of silence, he thought that the vocals in that specific song sounded. That was really just his way of saying, "I like Iron Maiden."
I guess so.
Can you play some Iron Maiden? So he seems to be more into like heavier stuff, I guess. I'm gonna assume.
Yeah, I think so. He seemed to kind of be into a little bit of just kind of whatever. But
at least like, you weren't trying to like,
definitely gravitated more towards like rock kind of stuff, which is what I was guessing.
Right. Which is a little bit easier
I was getting
for you to like show new music to, or even just play random stuff and kind of maybe hit close to something that he's going to like. Whereas if you were trying to take him from like, old country to like, whatever your playlist has on it, that might have been a little bit tougher for you to swing. Yeah.
Yeah. So, this is also an older gentleman. It's funny because before I met him, I was kind of thinking like, man, I would love to keep listening to Knowledge Fight because I don't want to stop listening to Knowledge Fight every day.
Yeah.
And so there was a minute where I was kind of thinking like, well, we'll see what kind of a vibe I get from this person. And I remember coming out of the break room like his first night, and my boss just happened to be walking by as I was walking out, and he was with him. And he was like, "Oh, this is Thomas," and like introduced me. And instantly, as soon as I saw him, it's probably bad in my head, but as soon as I saw him, I was like, "Oh, I'm not playing Knowledge Fight."
I can just tell.
I was like, "Yeah, I can't play that." We didn't really. I did actually specifically mention like, "Yeah, I don't like getting into like political conversations, especially at work. It doesn't feel appropriate, but also it's just frustrating for everybody either way. And so I was like, I don't really like to get into that. The closest, and he agreed, but he did at one point. He was just out of curiosity. He was like, oh, I know we said we didn't want to talk about this kind of thing, but he was like, I was just curious, like, what do you think about the AI and stuff like that? And I was like, oh God, not good. That's what I think. And we kind of talked about that. And he was like, I don't really know enough about it, but he's like, I kind of am not really all that into it either based on what I know. And I'm like, yeah, it's really not good. And talked a little bit about that. And then our country had just, I think that week had just decided to start a war.
Oh yeah.
And so we kind of got into that a little bit, and he agreed. He was like, yeah, this fucking, like, this stuff isn't good. And I'm like, nope, it's not. And that was kind of the extent of the political, in quotation marks, like conversation that we had. We kind of we're like, oh, well, let's just talk about something else, because that's not very pleasant.
Right.
So that was nice. No, he seems like a really nice dude. He's pretty easy to get along with, I think. He's like an older guy.
You keep saying older, so like, about how old do you think?
No, he told me, I think he said he's like 56 or something like that.
Okay.
56 or 57, if I recall correctly. He is he is fairly feeble and like weak, but it's also because the job that he had previously for like 20 years or something like that didn't require him kind of not super far off really, but it didn't really require like physical labor or anything like that. So he's kind of just like not used to it. So, but that's the only complaint that I had, was that he was kind of like really slow. And the way I am is when I'm at work is I just kind of want to like, I want to get shit done so that I can just be done with it.
Yep.
And fucking like the faster I get done, the faster I can just like do what I want to do instead. And so I'm very much into just like, hey, how about instead of like talking right now, we just fucking get this done? And I will snap at people sometimes and feel like an asshole afterward. There was like, I told my partner one night, and I told him actually about this one time in the truck. I felt like an asshole afterward, but at the moment it felt appropriate. I had like gone outside and I like moved the trucks because we like finished round 1 of loading up this stuff, and then we were starting like round 2, so I have to back in a different set of trucks basically. And I come inside and everybody is just like standing there talking whenever I come back inside. And I figured usually like as I'm going down the line moving them in, they'll start loading up what I've already done.
Yeah.
But I come inside this night and everybody is like standing in a circle like talking to each other, and I just walked up and I stopped and I'm looking at them, and they all stopped and they all turned and looked at me, and they're like what? Like, kind of like, what are you doing? And I said, if we're just going to stand here, I guess I'll just clock out and go home. and then they all kind of just like started like slowly went to work. And I'm like, I technically should have been off like 10 minutes ago. And if we're just not going to fucking do anything, then I'll just leave. There's no reason for me to be here if we're just going to fucking talk. Why am I here?
Yeah.
That just drives me fucking crazy.
Doing work for you. Yeah.
And so like later on, I was like, I feel a little bit like an asshole for saying that, but also like that shit just drives me crazy because I just want to fucking be done.
Well, especially like,
and I'm like, I'm only here right now to help you guys get done faster.
Exactly.
Like I don't have to be here.
I don't think you were the asshole in this. I mean, maybe it was a little harsh, but I don't know if you being the asshole.
Yes, exactly.
Because again, if it was like middle of the shift and you said that, then sure, you're being a fucking asshole. But the fact that it was at the end of you were already past the time that you should have been gone.
Yeah, I was either already past or it was like a few minutes before my scheduled off time.
Close enough. Yeah. No.
And so that stuff really annoys me. But anyway, yeah. So trained with that dude, and then he moved on to riding with the other older guy. So I've been by myself for this week and got to catch up on my pods and just nothing but knowledge fight every day.
Just soaking it back in.
So that's been really nice. And then we actually, just today at the time of recording, we finished the new season of the Traitors finally.
Oh, yes. Sorry,
UK
I forgot
Traitors.
what the show was even about. Yeah.
Yes. And that was a really good season.
You texted me, I don't think we talked about this, but you texted me and you said something about that was it the whole season or just like an episode where they kept one of the traitors secret from the audience?
Yeah. So, spoilers. Anybody from the time of recording this in April or whenever this comes out for season
April-ish.
4 of the UK Traitors. So spoilers for that. If you haven't listened to or seen that, then you might want to skip some of this. But yeah. So they always, just like any of these like reality game show kind of things, they always implement like a new thing each season.
Yeah. Keep you interested.
To keep it kind of fresh. And so one of the things they did in this season was, so again, they have 3 traitors that get picked in the first episode.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else is a quote unquote faithful. And then there are 3 selected traitors. And none of the faithful know who the traitors are.
Sure.
And actually in the first episode, the traitors don't know who the other traitors are.
Okay.
Until the end of that day, then the traitors like convene together, and that's when they meet each other, and then they conspire and pick whoever they're going to eliminate and stuff like that. But so the twist was that in addition to the 3 traitors, like always, there was also a 4th traitor who was a secret traitor that nobody knows who that is, including the 3 traitors. They don't know who this 4th traitor is. And the other thing with that was, unlike before where the traitors get to like get together and the 3 of them get to choose who they're going to eliminate, now the secret traitor is giving them a list of people to choose from.
Oh.
So the secret traitor is picking a list of like however many people, and the traitors have to decide out of this list, who are we going to eliminate. And so they're kind of trying to figure out who the secret traitor is, because they're like, we would like to be able to fucking choose ourselves who to eliminate. If this person kind of has a lot of power because they're telling us who we can eliminate. So that was really fun. And like I said, the audience doesn't know who the secret traitor is, and the traitors themselves don't know who it is.
Can that secret traitor still be, I guess, voted out or whatever? Or like, I mean, clearly by accident, I guess, if that's the case.
So they, in theory, could have. So at the end of each episode, which is also the end of each day, everybody gets together at a round table where there's this discussion where everybody kind of lays out like, oh, you did this thing earlier that was really suspicious, and like I'm kind of looking at you a little bit. And so they all kind of voice their opinions, and then they all write down the name of who they think is a traitor, and whoever has the most votes gets voted off.
Right.
And so in theory, yeah, the secret traitor could have been voted off. But the way that the season played out, no, they essentially, I'm trying to remember how it played out. It's essentially the secret traitor was actually only ended up being secret for like 2 episodes. And then we found out who it was.
How was that done?
That's what I'm trying to remember.
Oh, okay. Because I was curious, as you're thinking about that, I was curious, like, there has to be a contingency plan in place for, like, if the secret traitor has gone after, like, 1 episode, you know, like they accidentally get, you know, kicked out or whatever. Like, there has to be, like, a plan for the, I guess, the producers of the game to be like, well, that hook is gone now.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to be resolved as quickly as it was. Like I said, I think it was only like 2 full episodes that we didn't know who it was, and then, if I recall correctly, the 3rd episode it was revealed.
Okay. Was it revealed by the game, or sorry, by the show itself, or by the players? Like, how? Like, I guess that's what you're trying to figure out.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember, because I know that one of the 3 got voted off fairly early on, and then I'm trying to remember if that's when it was revealed who the secret one was or not. I can't remember now for some reason, but no, it was kind of an interesting idea. I don't know if it worked as well as I had hoped it would, though, but it was still kind of interesting. But it was really, really entertaining season. The Celebrity Traitor season was maybe my favorite season that I've watched so far, though. I thought that was really cool. Had a couple of my favorite moments of any traitor stuff that I've watched so far. I thought it was really neat.
Yeah.
yeah, Jonathan Ross was one of them. Not the ice murderer,
No.
shooter, but the
Yeah.
the UK
Yeah.
television host.
Yeah. Rossi.
Yeah, he was pretty entertaining. He had one of my favorite moments that I've ever seen on the show in general. And then the last episode, the finale, was like actually made me tear up.
Like emotionally or from laughter?
Emotionally,
Oh, wow.
yeah. The spoiler alerts for Celebrity Traitors season. Alan Cumming was on there,
Okay.
and he was one of the traitors, and which was fucking great because he's just like so neurotic and flamboyant, and so like the whole time he's just like I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, and he's like they're gonna find me out because I don't know how to lie to people, and he's like I'm sweating bullets and I'm going crazy, but he made it to the finale, and it was the moment that made me tear up was whenever like at the finale. Basically, whenever it's down to the last like 4 or 5 people, they do this thing where essentially there's like this, they're all standing around this table and there's like a fire pit in the middle of the table. And they all have these like, each one of them independently picks whether they're going to try to vote another person off or if they're going to say, we're good.
Oh, okay.
So basically what you want is you're going to say we're good, the game is over. You're going to say that if you are sure everybody here is a faithful.
Right.
Because if everybody says game over, we're good, and there's one traitor there, then that traitor wins the money.
Yeah. Okay.
And everybody else doesn't win
Right.
anything.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter what, whenever it's down to the last 2 people, the game is over. So essentially what your goal is as the faithful is, do I think everybody here is a faithful? Mm-hmm. And if so, then game over and all of us will split the money. And so that celebrity one, again, Alan was one of the traitors, and it got down to the last 3 of them. It was him and 2 faithfuls, and they all were sure that they were all faithfuls, and so they all voted to end it. And so then it was revealed like he was the traitor, like the last traitor,
yeah.
but they didn't know it. And so they had but they didn't just reveal that. It was just like one by one, they had to go through and say, this whole time I've been a faithful. Mm-hmm. So it was like faithful. And then we got to Alan as the last one. And he finally, after all this time, got to say that he was a traitor. And whenever he said it, he like immediately like broke down and started weeping because he was like, this was like taking such a toll on me to
the stress.
Like lie to everybody and do this. And so he just like started weeping, and I was like, oh, it actually made me feel really bad because it seemed like it really was like psychologically like taking a toll on it. Really.
The stress of trying to, be undercover. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that, I thought that kind of made me emotional. And the celebrity one also wasn't like whoever wins the money. It was like whoever wins like like all of the money that they have like earned through the different tasks throughout the season gets donated to like their chosen charity is what the celebrity one was. Yeah. But the normal show is like the winner of it wins like this prize pot.
All the faithfuls get to split the pot. Does that pot grow every week or like
Yeah, so they have these like little games and like challenges every day that they do, and they include like the ability to earn money for the prize fund at the end.
Okay.
Like going through the game or the challenge or whatever, there's like, and as you're doing that, there's going to be like, you can find like this bag, and like for each one of those you grab, there's like 1,000 pounds get added to the prize.
Yeah.
Fund.
Awesome.
Stuff like that.
So then I guess, you mentioned that, and this is just me just not familiar with the show at all. I've seen similar takes on this. But nothing that I guess lasts this long. I guess as far as like as many rounds or whatever, or as many players involved. I've seen them all.
Yeah, there's 20 like 22 or 24 that start.
Yeah, that's massive. Yeah, like the biggest version of this I've ever seen was the one that was. It's actually on Nebula. It's the Getaway. But
yeah, I've seen that listed on there. Yeah.
but spoiler alert, which I guess it's not really a spoiler because you find out pretty early on as the viewer. Everyone is a traitor, but they all have been told that there's only one. So each traitor only thinks that they're the only traitor. But even then, there were only like 6 of them. So I've never seen anything this bad. Like I said, I've seen The Mole years ago as a kid, but I can't remember how that played. Anyway, my question was, you mentioned that all the faithfuls get to split the pot as long as there aren't any traitors left. But I suppose there's also this element of greed in that as a faithful, you want there to be as few other faithfuls to split the pot with. So you have to weigh this, not only are there any traitors left, but how likely is it that I can stay in the game one more week and make this pot grow and hopefully get a bigger slice of the pie because there'll be fewer people, I guess, too. I don't know. There's a lot more elements here that I realize as far as how to play the strategy of this,
Yeah. So that was actually a bit of the tension at the finale of this series 4 that we just finished earlier today. So it got down the final 3. So it got down to the final 4, and there were 2 traitors left out of the 4. And before they went to the final table where they're going to fucking whittle it down to the winner, the 2 traitors had gotten together, and she made the plan of we're gonna get rid of that dude. Both of us are gonna team up against that guy, and then we're gonna get rid of the other guy, and then we're gonna split it. And so there was a little bit of tension because the other traitor, there was a guy and a girl, and the guy was at one point, because they also have before that final, they have a thing where they're sitting down with Claudia, the host, one by one, a little sit down and chat where she's like, how does it feel to be here at the finale, and what are you gonna do, and stuff like that. And the guy, the traitor, was at one point, he mentioned if him and her, the 2 traitors, splitting it will win them each 47,000 something pounds each, and he's like, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
But he's like, but also 95,000 something is a lot more.
A lot more. Yeah.
and so basically, it's down to the last 4, and they're there, and they say, no, the game's not over, and then they write down the name of who they're voting off. And so they did team up to kick that one guy out. So now it's the 2 traitors and the one guy. And that one guy he knows that she's a fucking traitor, and he's been trying to get her out. And so the tension then lied on the guy traitor, because it's he could right now put her name down and kick her off right now if he wanted to. And then the game is automatically over with 2 people left. And because he's the traitor and the other guy's the faithful, he would have gotten all the money.
Right.
And so there was a little bit of that tension, because it got down to the final vote, and she put down that faithful guy. The faithful guy voted for her, and then it came down to the other the traitor, the guy, and it was what's he gonna do? And he's looking at her, and so of course the editing of course makes it all the more suspenseful and everything. And then he revealed that he voted for the guy, the faithful guy, and so they split the money.
Right.
It was really sweet. And they hugged, and they're really happy and stuff, and she was like, I thought you were gonna get rid of me because you kept looking at me. And he was like, I was just fucking with you. Basically. It was great. Yeah, it was really good.
And where do you watch this?
I don't know, it's really interesting. Peacock,
okay.
There is like I said, there's multiple country versions. There's an American version that I will not watch, have no interest in. But the UK one, the only way I know to watch it is on Peacock.
Okay. Well, dang.
Really good.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Well,
yep.
Now that you have Nebula, I do recommend The Getaway. It's only...
Yeah, I've seen it on there, and I've been interested in it. I just haven't...
I think it's only 6 or 7 episodes long. Maybe 10, but it's not very long at all.
Yeah, the only show I've watched is that Day Pass, that... the one that I talked about last time, where the dude takes the local transit and stuff like that. That's a really interesting show, I thought.
And then if you ever get Dropout again, or if I maybe just give you my password, because they support password sharing, But there's an episode of Game Changer where they have a similar setup of Traitors.
I remember you mentioned that. Yeah.
And it's a really fascinating one too. It's also just really funny. But other than that, I haven't, like I said, I haven't seen something like that since I was a kid with the Mole, and that was, gosh, two decades ago probably, or more, or maybe only a decade and a half. But it seems like it was forever ago, and I just can't remember how. I didn't pay attention enough to it to kind of soak in the strategy as far as how to play. But it sounds really interesting as far as that goes.
Yeah, it's really fun to watch and see like what people make themselves believe is a suspicious act.
Yeah,
like
the psychology
because
of it.
There's so many things. Like as the viewer, it's like one of the only shows that I've ever found myself like talking to the TV almost because people will accuse at the round table. They'll accuse like earlier you did this thing and like it was really suspicious. Like what if like that's something a traitor would do? And I'm like that does not make any sense. Why would a traitor would not do that? In my opinion,
Idiot.
That's specifically not something that a traitor would do. It's like why would the traitor have implicated themselves in that blatant of a fashion?
Yeah.
Like, so there's a lot of stuff like that. But then there's also at the table, there's other people who are like, well, but also it seems like something that's so stupid for a traitor to do that I don't think that person's a traitor because of it. And so it's interesting to see like the psychology.
That's why I was curious to hear, and I'm. It's unfortunate that it only lasted a couple shows, I guess. But I was curious to hear like what it would be like for the audience to not know, and to be in that same boat of because you don't know, all of a sudden everything becomes really suspicious or suspect as far as actions and whatever.
Yeah, I was also a little bit deflated by that because I also kind of instantly, whenever they announced that thing, because obviously as soon as they mentioned that, both of us watching it were kind of like, oh, who do you think the traitor is? Like, you're also trying to figure that stuff out. But I almost instantly was kind of deflated because I was like, but we're also relying on the editing of the show, and like we can't. It's hard to gauge because we're only seeing what the show is like allowing us to see.
Yeah,
and so I couldn't really get a good grasp on like who do I think looks suspicious because I'm like I don't know. I don't see anything that stands out to me either way. We kind of both speculated about one or two people that actually ended up being completely wrong. But whenever it was finally revealed, I was kind of just like, sure, I guess. I mean, I didn't have anything to go on because it doesn't show us. Like, I'm not there to be able to see like every detail about it. Everybody's doing. And that's another thing. One of the only very minor complaints, because it's like a very just entertaining show, I think.
Sounds like it.
But one of the only complaints that I have is like the overt, like almost over editing or like overcompensation in the editing to make something look more suspicious than it probably did.
I hate that about some of those damn shows.
There are a lot of those moments where, because again, as the audience, you know who the traitors are. And so there is, I believe, maybe I'm also just completely wrong, but I believe there's a lot of deceptive editing in that, like, a person that we know who is a traitor says something that to us seems like it might be kind of suspicious, but we also know that person's a traitor. And so they'll say something and it'll cut to a person that's like sitting next to them and it'll be like them like looking at them funny.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that cut could be completely out of context. Yes. We don't know why they're looking at them happened. Or when that cut happened. And so there's a lot of stuff like that I'm like, but it's
essentially just B-roll.
So that kind of thing, I think, is a little bit like, yes, it's dramatic flair for the tension of you watching the show, but
it's not necessary.
It's a very entertaining show either way. Yeah. But that's my own like kind of only real complaint. From what I understand, the U.S. version of the show has like, or the UK version is just like random people that are on this show. They're not like personalities or anything. It's just like random assortment of people, yeah. But the U.S. version, from what I understand, is like fucking like influencers and like social media people and stuff.
It's so bad. Yeah.
And plus, I think Claudia on the UK version, I think she is such a perfect host for the show that I also don't want to see another host.
Right.
because the US version has a dude whose name I'm blanking on as the host, but yeah, Claudia Winkleman, I think is just
have
like,
you seen?
she is perfect.
Have you reached the Taskmaster season with her?
No, I didn't even know she was on it.
I can't remember if it's a whole. I think it's a whole season. It's either a whole season or I don't think it's
I had
one.
no idea she was on there. No.
Yeah, I can't remember. I couldn't tell you which season it is, but I can't remember if it's. I'm pretty sure it's a whole season 6. And not just one of the like New Year's special with like the celebrity guests or whatever. I think it's a whole season. Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, she has a wonderful voice. I love her voice, and so she's just like a perfect host. I think she's wonderful and weird and interesting. No, the season of Taskmaster I'm on is season 6, and I love Alice Levine. Like, I think she has like my favorite voice I've ever heard.
I don't remember who that is. Let me look that up real quick.
And she has like I started listening to a couple of different podcasts that she hosts, just because she was the host of them, and I was like, I just want to listen to her voice.
yeah, I liked her a lot too. Also, just my attraction meter was also peaked with that individual. That's
yes.
like, I don't know. I don't consider myself to have like a type as far as what I'm attracted to. It's more I'm more each individual person, personality specifically, but there are some traits, physical traits, that whenever they're all like in order or are all in play, I guess it's like, okay, I can't ignore the physical attraction there.
Yes.
Yeah. But
yeah, I agree.
Claudia, I can't remember. Like I said, I can't remember what season. It has to be one of like the more recent seasons, I think. So I imagine she might have already been hosting Traitors. How long has the show been out?
I don't know. A couple of years.
Is that all? Wow. Okay.
I don't know when the first one was. Traitors UK 2022 was the first season.
Oh, maybe she was on task.
Or 2023, actually. It says 2022, but then the air date for the first episode is February of 2023.
Huh. Okay. Oh, no, I was wrong. It was just the New Year's treat. So it wasn't a whole season.
Yeah, I haven't gotten far enough to watch any of those yet.
Yeah. Anyway.
Hey, also, news as of yesterday from Deadline, the Traitors and the Celebrity Traitors renewed until 2030 by the BBC.
There you go. Several more years of entertainment for you. There you go.
Works for me.
Speaking of entertainment.
Yeah.
And speaking of this weekend, we're recording this Friday the 13th of March. This is our second Friday the 13th pre-show this year.
Oh. I didn't even know that.
Exactly a month ago we did this. But this weekend, Sunday, something that I know you are not at all really caring about, at least not to the extent that most people are, but the Oscars is this Sunday.
Yes.
Have you completed any kind of list as far as Best Picture, or have you watched any?
It's a good question. Let me now pull up the nominees.
I've seen, I think 2. I've seen
the Best Picture.
Yes, I've seen Frankenstein. Oh, sorry, 3. I've seen Frankenstein. I've seen Sinners, and I've seen Train Dreams. I have not seen Begonia. I have not seen F1, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, or Sentimental Value.
Okay, let's see here. I have seen Begonia, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sinners. Those are the ones that I've seen.
Do you have Netflix?
No.
Oh, dang. I'm going to say Train Dreams was really actually pretty good. I don't know if it's like Best Picture worthy. It's definitely, it makes sense why it was nominated. It's one of those types of movies, where it just feels like that. Not just like a Best Picture. That's just an Academy film. But it was actually pretty good. So out of the ones that you've seen, any ones that you are hopeful for?
Yes. That's my answer.
Okay, that's fair enough.
No, I think, man, for me, my favorite out of the ones that I've seen is a really tough call between Marty Supreme and Begonia.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, they're very different movies.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to pick which one I would say I prefer. One of those two would be what I would be hopeful for. I'd obviously also be fine with one battle after another because I love Paul Thomas Anderson and it was a really good movie.
Yeah.
But Begonia and Marty Supreme were both like two of my favorites of the year.
Try and catch one or both of those this weekend via streaming, but I've got to find them and see what the prices are first. Yeah, I mean, as much as I enjoyed Sinners, and I still want to rewatch it, I just don't know if it's got a chance in the Best Picture thing. I don't know. I'd be kind of.
I definitely don't know.
But just for the sake of just a vampire movie getting Best Picture, but I definitely, out of the three that I've seen, which isn't very many, granted, Frankenstein is probably the lowest on my list. I love Guillermo, but
we talked about that. I don't know if we did on the show or not.
I don't think so.
But Frankenstein was not really my.
It was okay.
Tea,
it was fine enough.
That's so. Yeah, we watched it here, and I think whenever the credits finished rolling, I believe I legitimately turned to her and I said, "Yep, that was fine.
That was fine.
Now I've seen it."
Yep.
And then we moved on, and we didn't really have any further discussion.
Yeah.
We were like, "Yeah, that was fine."
It was visually nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As to be expected from Guillermo.
Yeah.
If it was visually like awful, that would have been a real bummer.
Yeah. So it was everything.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It just didn't really do anything for me. I don't think I didn't really like what's his face's version of the monster that much.
Yeah, and I don't know if that was like a writing thing either too, because I just didn't really care for like the choices that were made throughout.
I didn't really. Emotionally, it didn't really
Nope.
resonate with me very much. I, like you were kind of saying, I enjoyed the look of it. I have a gigantic crush on Mia Goth, and I thought she was great as typical.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I mean, it was nice to see Christoph Waltz.
Yeah, that's true.
And then that was kind of all I thought. I was like, well,
it was neat. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
I was actually fairly disappointed because I was kind of really looking forward to Guillermo's Frankenstein. I thought that was going to be a really cool thing.
I can't say that I was disappointed. It was everything that I expected it to be from Guillermo del Toro. But having said that, I also just expected it to be visually awesome, and that was kind of it. I didn't expect there to be this great story. I mean, no offense to him. I'm not saying this is like a dig on his ability to write or whatever, but ever since Pan's Labyrinth, I guess, I've not really thought that any of his stories are like incredible. That doesn't mean that they're bad. This is not a black and white situation here. They're still very entertaining or good, or at least okay enough for what he's trying to do. But I have not felt that they were like just incredible. I mean,
that's what I was going to say. Outside of Pan's Labyrinth, there's not really much from him that I care for. I like The Shape of Water, but I don't. Outside of, I love Pan's Labyrinth and I like The Shape of Water, but outside of those, there's not really anything of his that's really done anything for me.
Yeah, no.
And I love Guillermo, and I will always be eager to see something that he makes.
They're always visually great. I'm always like captivated, at least. With the exception of Frankenstein, I wasn't as captivated as I have been before with his films.
That's him and M. Night are two that like I don't love everything that they do, but I'm always really interested to see something.
Yes, yeah. I agree. Again, like I said, I want to see Sinners again, just because the format that I watched it in wasn't the most ideal for that film. But from what I could gather from it and could hear and see, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the story.
I was really happy to see on that movie. I was really happy to see Haley Steinfeld in a role like that because I feel like she has always been typecast as like 17-year-old girl.
Yeah,
and I'm like, she's like fucking almost 30, and they still keep casting her as like angsty teen.
Well, it's because she
and
did
I
so
was
phenomenal in True Grit.
True
That
Grit.
she was just stuck into that position the whole time. Yeah.
And so whenever that movie was coming out and I saw that she was in it, I was like, fuck yes, finally she gets to be an adult.
Yeah, no, I mean,
awesome.
it's a fantastic... So, out of the three, like I said, Frankenstein is my weakest of the three. And this is just out of the three that I've seen. So I'm not comparing this to the rest of the Best Picture noms. But
it's the weakest that I've seen as well.
But
I agree.
Like I said, Sinners... I'm torn from my other two options. If I can only choose between the two that I've seen here for Best Picture, I don't know. Sinners was really entertaining. It'd be cool to see a kick-ass vampire movie, a black vampire movie at that. Like, it was really well done. Great storytelling, great acting, I thought. Just all around really good, but Train Dreams was also just really good. Like, I guess my struggle with saying that I like Train Dreams as much as I do is because it really is just an Academy film. You know, like, it's just a movie that, you know, is just made to win an award.
I wanted to say really quick, it's something that I always enjoy every year is, and I don't know if you recognize it or not, you might, but I get an enjoyment every year whenever the nominees come out and there will have been like one that you've seen and you like latch on to that movie. You're like, that movie is fucking
No, you're
great.
right though.
And it's just because it's the one of them that you have seen, but it also typically ends up being like the one that nobody else is really talking about. And you're just like, that movie is fucking great and I'm rooting for it.
No. But I want to say though, I'm not rooting for Train Dreams.
Yes,
I'm just saying,
right.
Out of the two that are left of my three that I've seen, I would like, out of the two, Sinners to get Best Picture, but I could see actually Train Dreams, if those were the only two movies that were nominated. I could see Train Dreams getting it. It was really good. I mean, I enjoyed it. It was a simple story, but it was also like an emotionally, not necessarily heavy, but emotionally deep story. The story was just really good, I thought. I think it's based off of a book, or I'm pretty sure it's some kind of novel.
I believe so, yeah.
Just really, it was really nicely done. And then visually it was simple, but that's all that it needed, you know. But yeah, it's not like a movie that, you know, anyone should be talking about, really, as far as that goes. But out of the last two, it'd be tough for me to pick which one might get Best Picture. But I still would like to see Begonia and Marty Supreme, because I really have a feeling that one of those two is actually going to be the one that gets it.
Begonia was
quite possibly.
I've been wanting to watch that one again just because I thought it was fucking fantastic. I thought that movie was just like really entertaining, like right up my alley. I really like that Yorgos Lanthimos in general, as you know, but I think that it's a strong contender for my favorite movie of his. I think that one. I really love The Lobster, also, as you know.
I haven't seen it yet.
But I don't know. Begonia, I thought was just
that's what I keep hearing.
This movie is right up my alley personally. Like specifically, this movie is like something that I'm very into. So really enjoy.
Out of the cinematography nominees, the only one you haven't seen is Train Dreams. You've seen Frankenstein, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, and Sinners.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's right.
Out of your pick, who do you think? Frankenstein's cinematography was pretty good.
Yeah,
but it just goes to like the visual style of Guillermo del Toro's films. I don't know if it's like a winner, but I did enjoy it quite a lot. Sinners, I honestly can't remember the cinematography sticking out of Sinners.
Yeah.
And again, I don't know if that's the format I watched it in. So okay, so you agree then?
Well, but thinking about it, I mean, it looked great, but it's also one of those things where it's like, yeah, well, there's no reason for it to not have looked great.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there wasn't like anything crazy going on.
Why? Yeah, but like you said, I also, though, The only thing that stands out, I think, during the musical sequence, if I recall correctly, I think it was like a really impressive long take,
Yes,
like a really long shot.
I sort of recall that.
I remember like that shot. I remember having like the realization in the midst of it of like, wow, this shot. Yeah. I think this shot is still going on, and it was like really intricate and through like over like the whole crowd and like. So that was pretty neat. But other than that, there wasn't really any like standout that I can think of like, man, that movie's cinematography blew me away.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I think I only really think out of those, for me, it would be Frankenstein or One Battle After Another for sure.
For me, Train Dreams was just really good to look at. The cinematography was actually really fucking awesome. But again, it was also like, it was really simple. So in the fact that, like, you know, because the movie basically follows one guy the whole time. And it follows him from like a young man, a young like adult male to old age, to death. Spoilers. And his journey as someone working at the turn of the 19th century, or sorry, turn of the 20th century, in the West, and seeing that whole landscape develop as you know, everyone moved west, and as industry came in, and all that kind of, and the way that the camera is used to like highlight both the subtle stillness of life, but also like this ever-changing thing that is time and life. It does it really, really beautifully, but in a super simple way that it's one of those things where like Sinners cinematography, I'm not going to say it was simple as far as technically speaking, but it was simple in the fact that like it didn't go like crazy above and beyond as far as, you know, what it needed to convey the awesome story that it was, right? Like maybe like the dance scene, it went a little bit of as far as above and beyond, but not like overdone. Just, you know, it did stuff they didn't have to do, but it did it well. Train Dreams is the same sort of similar boat, in my opinion, but everything that it did, because the story is so, I don't want to say like boring, but because the story is so like heavily reliant on the concept of the passage of time and also the vastness of life, and the way that like a camera can just sometimes capture that so beautifully. Yeah, Train Dreams was just really good. So I'm going to keep hyping up this movie.
You might have a dark horse there.
I don't know. Like I said, I haven't seen One Battle After Another.
And I did want to say the reason that one comes to mind for me is because I think there are shots that I don't think I've ever seen anything like them before.
Okay.
There is like, not to describe like anything with the plot or anything like that, but there is like a sequence where it's like in a vehicle out in like kind of like the desert, and it's like really hilly, and so the vehicle's kind of going up the hill and down the hill,
right? But
it's shot in such a weird way that I don't think I've ever seen any shot that looked like that before. Where it's like the camera is zoomed in. It's like the camera is like really zoomed in, and so the camera is moving like down, and then it's moving like up, and then it's moving down.
More exaggerated than...
really strange, really weird. I've never seen anything like it, and it was really interesting looking. And that's like one of the only reasons why, for me, that one stands out. I mean, obviously, it's Paul Thomas Anderson movies are just fucking like across the board really well done. So it's going to look great regardless. But that really stood out to me. And then same thing with Frankenstein. Just like if it's a Guillermo movie, then you can expect it to fucking look incredible.
Right.
And that's why I would guess that Frankenstein would win like what, production design or something like that. Like, I don't know how.
Yeah, those awards.
Like that.
Yeah. I haven't got to that list yet to see what there's.
Or Sinners, that one, or Sinners. I think Sinners will do really well in the technical stuff.
I think it will too. I think Sinners might do really well overall, actually.
Yeah.
So what about directing? Because I've only seen Sinners.
Let me go down to the nominees here. Oh, I just passed it. I thought I'm on the Academy website
So am
trying
I.
to like scroll to find.
I'm doing like the
there
drop
we
down
go.
list version where it just shows me just that
Chloe's
category.
Chloe Zhao for Hamnet, Josh Safdie, Marty Supreme, PTA, One Battle, Joachim Trier, Sentimental Value, which I still need to see, and Ryan Coogler for Sinners. Well, my prediction would be Ryan Coogler for Sinners.
I think so.
My want...
Safdie? Or PTA?
Yeah.
But you also really liked Hamnet. Is that worthy of directing?
Well, I thought Hamnet was really good.
But is it worthy of any awards other than noms?
If it was me picking them,
no,
probably not. But it's the Academy picking them, so I could see it winning something. I wouldn't be really surprised if it won directing, but I think Ryan Coogler probably is gonna. I also don't know because I haven't been following this at all. But my guess would be Ryan Coogler probably has it almost in the bag.
I think that.
But man, I'd probably give it to PTA because I just want PTA to win an Oscar. He's never won an Oscar.
Yeah.
I'd love for him to win one.
I think that Coogler in Sinners is going to do well for the fact that, one, it's just a good movie. Mm-hmm. I mean, regardless of the genre, it's a good movie.
Yeah.
But two, I think there's enough. I think the Academy is shifting gears in the sense that they're leaning more into what the audiences want. Now, that doesn't mean that like they're going to just write down the board, give it all to Sinners, and be done with it. I think the other ones are also putting in a good fight. But I'm not going to be shocked if Sinners takes a lot more than what people think. And again, not that it's not deserving of those things, but usually in years where a movie is really deserving of things, specifically because of the genre, it doesn't get the things that it deserves. That's where I think that maybe this year might be a little different. I don't know about Best Picture, but these other ones might be okay. Okay, what's next?
Actor in a leading role?
Okay, I can find that.
I think it's like the very first one.
Well, I'm on the drop-down list, so...
Well, I am now too, so there you go. It's the first one.
Okay, what's the first one? Look at that. It's the first one. Leo, Timothy, Ethan, Michael, and Wagner who? Mora? The Secret Agent? I don't know. I don't know this movie at all.
The Secret Agent seemed interesting. It's like 3 hours long, though.
Oh, God. Why?
Yeah.
No chance.
So I haven't seen that one. I've seen all the rest of these. And if it's me picking the winner of this, all day long, no contest, it's Timothée Chalamet.
Really?
100%.
I need to see this movie.
So him in that movie. So he's been one that I've thought is good in everything that he's been in. Mm-hmm. But I've never been like wowed by him like everybody else seems to be. Like everybody is like has been crazy about him for like almost 10 years, it seems like. And he's nominated for a movie anytime he's in one. Yeah. And I've always been like, I've always just thought like, I mean, he's really good, and I'm not saying that he's not a good actor or anything like that, but he's just always good.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And
but not like incredible, is what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah.
And then
to you,
watching Marty Supreme in the theater, I was like, I get it. I fucking get it.
You are a Chalamet now.
you know, we've talked a little bit about how like there'll be those rarest of moments whenever you're watching a film, and just like it's like one of those things where like everything in it is just clicking just right, and like my eyes start to water. I'm just like, this is fucking incredible.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Super rare.
That happened multiple times watching Marty Supreme. For me personally, just like watching him on screen, I'm just like, this guy is fucking incredible.
Really? Okay.
I was like, I am on board for the Chalamet train at this point. He is just so good.
Okay. Even though he's against,
that's a lot of hype. I know that's just my perspective personally.
Even though he's against ballet and whatever the other thing was that he recently got.
Yeah, I've heard
stuff
about that, and I don't really know much about it or care.
Nope. Okay.
Him.
I haven't heard of Blue Moon. Ethan Hawke. What is this movie?
Leo is always really good. Blue Moon. was fine. Ethan Hawke was fucking fantastic. He would be my second choice.
Okay.
It's a Linklater film.
He's also always good too.
Yeah, and
Underrated.
Ethan Hawke and Richard Linklater and Hawke is like one of the greatest director-actor combos of all time, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And he's really good in that and almost like unrecognizable, pretty much. He's Ethan Hawke is fucking fantastic in that movie.
Yeah, I don't know if Michael B. Jordan gets this one.
Yeah, I really like Michael B. Jordan also.
He did get the SAG for it.
He was also it was like a previous to Marty Supreme. Michael B. Jordan's performance in Sinners is like a Chalamet situation where I'm like, yeah, he was really good.
He's really good. Yeah.
I don't have anything. He didn't particularly stand out one way or another for me as far as like incredible or not great. I thought he was fucking fantastic. And I can't really picture another actor doing those roles, plural.
Yeah. Yes.
And he was fantastic, and I think he's always fantastic.
But
and I thought he was as fantastic as he always is.
The thing for me, and I really don't know how much of this is actually just writing or directing. He didn't completely disappear from me.
Yeah, he's Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, but which means like he's still a really good actor.
People. Yeah, which is still great.
Yeah, but he's still also just for me, he was still just Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm just like, I don't know if he's going to get, like, this might be the one category that, but again, like I said, he got the SAG award for this, so I don't know.
And then, like what you were saying about Chalamet's situation, like, Melissa was talking about, like, yeah, he might have, like, killed his chances because she follows this stuff way more closely than I do, like these awards things, and she was saying like it was seeming kind of like he was a lock for a while, but then this thing happened and she was like he might have just like, killed his chance.
But I also wonder
how much she was saying like Marty Supreme is also kind of like just kind of been dropping off in general from like a bunch of stuff, but
Sinners is really taking over the spotlight.
DiCaprio is just like that dude is just like one of the best actors of all time, so it's hard to, you can't watch something and not think that he's fucking great either way. I wouldn't give him the award for this one, and I absolutely don't think he has like really any shot at winning it, but cool that he's nominated, and I'd say he was deserving of being nominated.
Sure, they had to have 5, so they picked him.
Yeah.
What's next? Actress
leading role? Yeah,
it's at the top.
Jessie Buckley for Hamnet, Rose Byrne for If I Had Legs I'd Kick You, Kate Hudson for Song Sung Blue, Renate Reinsve Sentimental Value, Emma Stone for Begonia.
I feel no offense to Kate Hudson, but I feel like there probably were not that many films this year that featured an actress in a lead role. I didn't hear a lot about Song Sung Blue as far as that goes.
That's that musical with Hugh Jackman, right?
Is it a Dylan or no, it's about the guy who sang Sweet Caroline. Who is that?
Him.
It's about a guy who does an impersonation of that guy, and they tour together. And that's the movie, I guess. But that's the one, Song Sung Blue. Like I said, I haven't heard much of anything about this movie, good or bad, as far as that goes. It didn't really seem appealing. I didn't really seem intrigued by it. So again, I'm sure Kate Hudson did great for what it is, but again, it's one of those things where this list feels like they just didn't have a lot to choose from this year.
Yet at the same time, you never know. It could watch it and be like, holy fuck, yeah, she should have won.
I'll watch it tonight and then be on the Song Sung Blue train.
Yeah, you'll feel like, fuck Train Dreams. Put me on the Kate Hudson train.
I'm sure it's a fine movie, but yeah. And then
I think if I were picking, so if it was me choosing out of this list who I
Emma Stone,
would want to win, it would be Jessie Buckley.
Oh, really?
Hamnet.
Okay.
Yes.
That surprises me in your choice.
Yes.
For how much you praised Begonia just a bit ago.
Because that movie's fucking great. Emma Stone was really good, but I stand by saying that I really enjoyed Hamnet because of how good Jessie Buckley was.
So you're saying it was because of
her
I
performance
see.
in the last like 30 minutes of the movie sold me on thinking that movie was fucking great, because
Okay.
I think I talked about previously when after I had seen it, I was like, yeah, I wasn't really connecting with it. I thought it was fine, but her solely because of her performance, I was sold
Right.
there toward the end of the movie, just from her facial expression during the whole
That's important.
ending sequence.
Yeah.
She deserves it in my book. If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You was fine.
Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody seems to really like Sentimental Value, and I'd like to watch it. I just haven't yet.
Is that the one with what's his face and what's her name?
Yeah, dude, and a woman.
Yeah.
Yes.
The sister of the one chick, right?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, and Skarsgård.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's the dude I was talking about.
yeah. Elle Fanning.
That's the one.
Yep, there you
Yeah.
go. Yes. Yep,
I had it right. I was there.
that's it.
I have no idea what it's about, but I just know that those two are in it.
Me too.
That's it.
Yep. And it's the director of that Worst Person in the World movie that everybody liked that I also still haven't seen.
I haven't heard of that one. Worst person in the world?
Yeah. Yep, The Worst Person in the World.
Okay.
It was from like 5 years ago.
Oh,
maybe.
wow. Okay.
If that.
So maybe
don't
I
remember
have
how
heard
long
about it
ago
and just
was,
forgot
but-
about it. Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else we
Yep.
want to talk about? Writing?
Yeah, adapted screenplay. We
Okay, it's at
got
the bottom.
Begonia, Frankenstein, Hamnet, One Battle, and Train Dreams. Ooh. Well, which one are you going for, Will?
I mean,
ahead.
honestly, it might actually be Frankenstein. Out of the two that I've seen, I mean, but I haven't read Train Dreams. I've read Frankenstein, so that's the only angle that I'm coming at this from.
Right. Yeah.
But I mean, I hate to say Train Dreams again, but it's
Say it.
okay. Train Dreams, only because the only other one I've seen is Frankenstein.
Yeah.
And while it was good, I'm just not a huge fan of that story in general. I mean, it's a good story, but I've always been more of a fan of Dracula, which I think we've talked about before on the show.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if Train Dreams was, I guess, okay, so here's where I'm at with Train Dreams. What was the movie about the aliens?
Yep.
And the weird language that they used.
Arrival.
Thank you.
That's all you'd have to
That
say.
was also
The aliens and their weird language.
what was that called again? That was also
Arrival.
an adapted screenplay, if I recall.
I believe so, yeah.
Can't remember if it won that though. I don't think it did. Or it was even nominated for it. It might have been not. Maybe it was nominated. I can't remember.
I know it was nominated for score. I don't remember what else.
But that's
Anyway.
where I feel I had not read that either. But I felt like if whatever I saw on screen was in any way better in the book, then by golly, I understand why it was nominated.
Was nominated for adapted screenplay, yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel about Train Dreams. Is I can't say it's going to win by any means, but out of the two that I've seen, it was just a really, whatever was in the book that was only text, the way that it was put on screen, whether or not that was better or worse than the book doesn't matter to me. The fact that the book could still be better than what I saw tells me that it was a good adaptation, because it was still a really well done story for the screen. So, yeah, out of those two, like I said, but I feel like out of those two, Frankenstein has a better chance of getting it, just because for the simple fact that that story is so old and everyone's so familiar with it. And we're also so familiar with all of the adaptations of that story. And this one being a very emotional adaptation, whereas the other ones, while they do play with emotions, not as heavily as this one at least tried to. So that's kind of where I'm leaning. Maybe this is actually Frankenstein. Out of the two that I've seen.
Yeah. Yeah, out of the 4 that I've seen,
You gotta see Train Dreams, man.
I would give it to One Battle after another, for sure.
Okay.
That's who I'm rooting for, and that's who I would pick as a prediction.
I didn't
as
know
well.
that was an existing work before.
Yeah, I think a lot of people forget about that. It's based on like I'm trying to think of the dude's name. He adapted. Paul Thomas Anderson has been like a big fan of that dude. Thomas Pynchon, I think is his name.
Okay.
He Paul Thomas Anderson made the movie Inherent Vice. That was an adaptation of that dude's book. And this one was also an adaptation of that same.
Interesting.
A different story from that same guy. I forget what the book is called. But,
Mm-hmm.
no, I thought it was really well done. I speaking of that movie, for I don't know who the nominees are for actor in a supporting role, but I would pick Sean Penn, no question, easily. Sean Penn is who I would pick to win.
He is nominated. Yes.
Yeah. So is Benicio del Toro. Yeah, Benicio is great. I really like him a lot. But yeah, for my choice, Sean Penn, no question for supporting actor.
Interesting.
Actress in a supporting role. I'll try to zing through. Oh man, that one's tough.
Okay, I'll tell you the one that I want to win. Not that I think has
Yeah.
any chance in the world of winning, but she did win the SAG for it, and
Yes.
that's Amy Madigan.
Yes, I'm between
For
her
Weapons.
and Tiana Taylor.
Did you
'cause she was
see?
fucking
I
fantastic.
think I told you about this. Did you see her acceptance of?
I haven't seen
She fucking ran on
any
stage.
awards at all.
She ran on stage in like the Weapons Kid run. It was so great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know the actress here for Sinners. All the actors and actresses in Sinners were fantastic. And those are the only two that I've seen as Weapons in that one. But I will say that, I mean, if you want to talk, I understand what leading role and supporting role is. I understand the difference. But in my opinion, Weapons was held on the shoulders of Amy Madigan.
Yeah.
So I get
I
that she
agree.
wasn't the lead, but the fact that the movie rested so heavily upon her performance, that's where I'm just like, I don't know. I think Amy Madigan should get this one, actually. I mean, that's just where I'm at.
I would have no qualms with that whatsoever. That one or Tiana Taylor from One Battle, one of those two, either one of those would be what I would hope for.
Okay.
Um,
Let's go with
we'll end on
original screenplay.
original screenplay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've not seen any of these. Oh, Sinners.
Sinners.
I've seen, yeah.
Sentimental Value, Marty Supreme, It Was Just an Accident, and Blue Moon. Blue Moon was really well written, but I would probably, if it was me picking, it would be Marty Supreme.
Okay. I've only seen Sinners, so I mean, and it was, I enjoyed the story. And the fact that it's the
Yeah.
original.
I wish Weapons was nominated.
Yeah, right. I will say that like about Sinners.
Say it.
Well, it wasn't Train Dreams. I'll say that.
It's true.
I'm kidding. No, I was going to say that like for as entertaining and as deep as that story was, with the hook of it being a vampire film, a period vampire film. I also really loved like all of the the side character stories that were going on, right? Like I want more of all of that, like the world that it was in, especially the Native American vampire hunter story. Like, I would kill to see that. That'd be so awesome. But yeah, I mean, like there were so many elements of that story, of the overarching story, that have like little pockets of like, oh, I want more of that. I want more of this. Plus, you have, the backdrop of the racial issues and the time that the film was set in, and the cultural aspect of it just being so well done and conveyed onto the screen. But again, like I said, I haven't seen the other ones, so that's all I can really go off of. Is Sinners was really great. Yeah. Marty Supreme is definitely high on my list. I'm really hoping to get to see that one before Sunday night. Or I mean, sorry, I'm hoping to get to see it in general. It doesn't have to be before the Oscars, but I'd like to see it.
Yeah, and I hope you really like it. and I hope that my the only thing I worry about talking about how much I like it is my enjoyment of it being in any way like overhyping or anything like that.
No, I don't. I'm not worried about
you
that.
Like
for
the
that
other,
movie.
if you like the other Safdie
Exactly.
movies, then I think you will, because Josh Safdie apparently was the tone and style of the Safdie brothers.
Yeah, that's exactly why. Like this one time, which is rare for you, telling me how much you like a movie. Where there are times where I'm like, I don't know, is Thomas just overselling it, or just maybe not overselling it, but just like overexcited about it, and that just comes off as like maybe I can't be as excited as that, But Marty Supreme, ever since I heard about it, was high on my list as far as wanting to see it. So I don't think you could do any wrong by overselling it.
I think the best praise I can give for that movie is it's about a thing I care absolutely not at all about, and yet I was completely enthralled.
Okay.
And that's wonderful. It's incredible if a filmmaker can make a movie about a topic that I give no shits about at all, and can make me completely engaged and like in love with.
So that brings me back to Train Dreams.
Is that what that did for you?
Yeah, I mean, really, it did. Like I said, I mean, granted, I completely understand that movie is just an Academy movie. It's just a movie that was made for the Academy.
Yeah.
I understand. I get that's what it is. But it's not. It's not like it's overly done. Like, some movies that are like clearly just like an awards movie, like it just vomit. It's just grotesquely overdone as far as trying to pull strings and be overly like gorgeous in every way or whatever. But the fact that it was a story about a guy, maybe the guy is a real guy. I guess he could have been, as far as based on a real life event, but not necessarily an actual person. But anyway, the story is about just a guy, and a guy that I don't relate to, at least not in many ways, who had a job that I really have no interest in a time period that isn't overly exciting, from the perspective that he had on it, at least, and the fact that, like I said, I mean, like I only watched it, I only turned it on because I had Netflix at the time, and I was just trying to watch the nominees before my subscription expired, and I was like, well, screw it, it's on here, I already have it, I've already paid for it this month, I'll just watch it. And the fact that I turned it on, and maybe it's because I had no expectations, maybe that's why, and then I watched the whole thing, like no phone, no doing anything else. I watched it all, and I was like, that was actually fucking really good. So maybe that's why. Just my expectations were so low. But
yeah,
it did keep me entertained for something that I should not have cared about. But again, I still really want to see Marty Supreme, because I feel like it's going to be the same, if not better.
I'm trying to think of where my expectations were for Marty Supreme, because they were high, because Good Time and Uncut Gems, I think, are like two of the best movies I've ever watched in general.
Mm-hmm. Good Time, especially.
So I think my expectations were definitely pretty high, because I'm just like, how the fuck are they going to fall? Is he going to follow up Uncut Gems? Because I thought that movie was like the most like intense, fantastic movie. Like that. That is a rare Letterboxd 5 out of 5 for me. I think Uncut Gems, it's in my 5 out of 5s. I think that movie's incredible. And so I was just like, I don't know how the fuck you're going to make a movie after that. And so I think that was kind of where my expectations were like, I'm really excited just because I'm excited to see him do something else. But also I'm nervous about like, but if it falls short of Uncut Gems, then what is that?
Exactly, because
will that affect me?
Because we've been in that situation before where we really like a director or a filmmaker, and they have a couple of awesome films in a row, and then there's it seems like there's always that eventual movie that just isn't at the height of the other ones that we've loved. Doesn't mean it's bad. It just didn't live up to, or even it definitely didn't exceed what we've seen
Yeah.
before. So I understand that. It's like, as far as like the apprehension of being like, is this going to be the one that's like a, you know, yeah.
That's kind of where I was, yeah. And I was also, again, I was like, Timothée Chalamet is really good, but also he doesn't he doesn't impress me particularly.
Yeah.
But he sold me, and it is not, it does not live up to Uncut Gems for me.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that. I think Uncut Gems is phenomenal, and I think there's like nothing about that movie that I would change.
Mm-hmm.
I think that movie is fucking incredible. And I think Good Time is fucking incredible. And Robert Pattinson is unbelievable in that movie. And Benny Safdie is fucking incredible in that movie. And just like the intensity of that movie. And then they're with that dude who's telling his fucking LSD story. And you're like, what the fuck? And that movie is just fucking brilliant. Marty Supreme, I don't know if I like it as much as Good Time or Uncut Gems, but it is in the same club. It is like one.
It didn't
in the same as those three.
far. Yeah.
No,
Right.
it is. It belongs very much in that group stylistically, tonally. It is just like, the music in it is just so good, and it's just like, again, it's about it's a topic that I don't care at all about, but just like the atmosphere and the music and everything about the movie, I was just locked in and engaged the whole time. And Chalamet was such a fucking brilliant like shithead. He's just so fucking good. The only thing that I had to say in the slightest tiny bit negative about that is that I don't think the ending of it was what I would have hoped for.
Okay,
for
leave it
me.
at that, because I don't want to have any more.
Yeah, which I'm not going to say
Yeah.
any more about that,
Yeah.
but it's just like, it just didn't seem like a right ending in my opinion.
Okay.
And I am happy that I don't seem like, I don't know, but also I wonder if that's just because I love those other two movies so much, and I'm like, the endings of those movies are like fucking perfect for both of those movies, and then like this one is in the same camp for the whole time tonally and everything, to where I'm just like, but I don't know if this ending quite works.
That
for
makes
it,
sense.
you know. But anyway, that's like the only, and that's also a minor, because I also don't really have that much of an issue with the ending.
So
it's just like, yeah.
Out of the Best Picture nominees, to wrap this up, which one gets your highest star rating, and what is that rating? Doesn't mean which one is the highest star rating, just what is the rating? It could be a 3 out of 5, but it's still the highest, right?
Yeah. Man, it's tough. Begonia and Marty Supreme are definitely 4 out of 5s for me.
Okay.
I think I'd say 4 out of 5.
No other ones are higher than that, huh?
No.
Okay.
One Battle was a 4 out of 5 also. I think. Yeah, 4 out of 5 I think is my highest.
For
any of
me,
these. 4.5, really close. Begonia and Marty Supreme, close 4.5s, but I'd say 4 probably.
For me, again, I've only seen Frankenstein, Sinners, and Train Dreams out of all these so far, as of this recording. I don't think any of them get higher than a 3.5, 4. And 4's really pushing it.
Mm-hmm.
I think Frankenstein gets a solid 3.
Well, keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen listening at home, that this is from Will, who infamously on Letterboxd, I think, gave
Infamously, yeah.
last Voyage of the Demeter the same star rating as Oppenheimer.
Because it was fucking, it was so,
Yeah.
yes, but and I stand by my reasoning for that.
Yes.
The stars do not explain why. I had a damn good time with the last Voyage of the Demeter.
Yeah.
I was blown away by how much of a good time I had. So therefore, it earned those stars. Oppenheimer, I expected it to be a good movie, and it was a great movie.
Yeah.
That's the end of
Well,
the
hey,
statement.
I'm not saying anything. I think, because I'd give those movies 4 stars, but also I'm pretty sure I have Wayne's World at 4
Have you
stars.
seen
so like,
Last Voyage?
I have not.
Damn
No.
tonight, double feature: Train Dreams and Last Voyage of the Demeter.
Maybe I'll find a bootleg of Train Dreams.
It's so worth it. But anyway, but yeah, so I would say Sinners is definitely 3.5, but I want to just say that like
Me too. I think 3.5 for me too.
But I also think I really need to like watch it in an appropriate setting before I can truly give that movie an honest rating. Because I was at a drive-in theater and the audio wasn't great from where I was at, and I had already watched another movie before that one, so it wasn't the right space. So I'm going to say 3.5, but it could be much higher than that.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to read Will's 4 out of 5 star review for The Last Voyage.
And then Train Dreams is the one that
It's your dark horse.
I don't want to give it a 4.
Do it. You want to.
But it was definitely exceeded my absolute zero expectation. I didn't know what to expect. I had no expectations, and it blew me out of the water as far as how good it was. But that was only because I didn't expect anything. Right, I knew nothing about this movie, so that's where I'm still like it is probably actually like a 3.5.
Yeah,
that's right. So go ahead and read my infamous review.
Your infamous review with no likes, nothing.
No,
written or at least viewed August 19th of 2023.
That's probably shortly after it came out.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I think I went like the weekend that it was, or a weekend after that. Yeah.
4 out of 5 and a like from Will B. Damn, this was fun. It's amazing to watch something that was a part of another larger work become its own thrilling tale.
Yes.
Exciting and well crafted. Definitely not a perfect film, but also doesn't need to be at all.
Exactly.
Which is saying nothing.
No, but to me, well, okay, how about this? Maybe you're right that doesn't say anything, but what I was trying to say is that it was just a good time. Yes. It didn't have to be perfect for it to be enjoyable. That's what I'm trying to convey there.
Yeah, I know. The ending ties the story back into the original so very well.
Mm-hmm.
Ship it.
That's
how it ends.
That's what the kids say.
Ship it! Exclamation point.
Yeah, because they're on a ship.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, like I've always been a big Dracula
really well
fanboy.
Yeah.
I thought for what the movie was, and now I'm fearful that I've overhyped this for you, and that you will not.
Me too.
Yeah. Probably. Probably truly. I've only seen it once, so maybe it's actually.
Josh Rubin gave it 2.5 and a like, and said, "V. Glad I saw this on the big screen."
Yes. And that's the thing.
2.5.
And that's the thing is I haven't seen it anywhere else but on a big screen. So it was a good time there.
Michael Snydell gave it 2.5.
That's probably more accurate.
There's a lot of 3s from people.
Am I the highest?
2.5.
Am I the only? Am I the only 4-star?
You are. Yes, you are the highest. You are the only for everything else. One guy I follow gave it 3.5. And then there are a few 3s and a couple of 2.5s, and then the other people don't rate it. They just either.
I'll rewatch it again and give it a more appropriate reaction.
Simon Barrett logged it, did not give it a like. He doesn't usually give ratings, but he did not give it a rating or a like, which doesn't, I don't think, mean anything. I think there's sometimes that he writes positively, but he didn't give it a like.
I really enjoyed Dracula. I'm a Dracula fanboy. The ending helped that a lot. And then I still stand behind the fact that like this was just a passage in a book that became a whole movie is kind of cool, and to see that come to life. Plus, I thought the monster effects were pretty cool. So.
Yeah.
But again, maybe a 4 is way too high for that movie. but I think I rated it also, like right after I got out of the theater, so I was just on cloud 9 of excitement. So,
and I think it's completely fine to really enjoy a movie, even if others didn't enjoy it as much. And also, it's directed from Andre Overdahl, and I forget that. And I really like his other work that I've watched, Troll Hunter and Autopsy of Jane Doe.
Yes, both are
both
great.
Really good. I I still never watched Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. But,
Also really great.
I really enjoy him.
I either forgot or didn't know that he was that director too. Yeah, that's also a really good adaptation. Yeah. I wish it was scary.
So yeah, I forgot that.
But it's really good.
So it was just like creepy stories to tell in the dark more than scary?
No, the source material is just not that scary.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess it is for like children,
yeah,
essentially.
it's like
right?
young adult. Yeah.
It's just like, the pictures are like iconic.
Yes.
I think.
Well, and that's the part that's what I'm saying. Like, he did such a awesome job adapting to the screen, at least as a director, that's where I wish it was scarier, because like I wish the source material was more frightening. It would have been awesome to see him like take that
I see.
to like an R rating, you know. It would have been amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, good stuff. Yeah, I haven't avoided watching that movie or anything. I just haven't gotten.
Have you seen Exam?
To Last Voyage. Exam, no.
It's the one with like the 8 people in one room that I told you about like 10 years ago.
The one that I forget entirely until you ask me about it again, and then I'm like, yeah, I do need to watch that one, and then immediately after talking about it, I forget what it's called, and I don't think about it until you ask me about it again. No, so
it's
there's
like annual asking of that question.
There's that one. There's Last Voyage, and there's the Lego Movie, and all three of them are ones that I do plan to watch, and I will watch, but I just don't think about them other than whenever you bring them up.
Well, now you can add Train Dreams to your list.
Yeah, if that was good. But that one I have an excuse because I don't have Netflix, and I'm not fucking going to have Netflix because I think they're trash and expensive, and I don't want to pay for them.
And that's what pisses me off about that movie is I really do want to own that physically.
Yeah. Well, maybe our boys at Sloppy Second Sales can hook us up.
Maybe. Hopefully they can. Yeah. I would buy it.
Yeah, I keep hoping that they put out Linklater's Nouvelle Vague movie as well. Because it's on Netflix, and I'm not going to get Netflix. So
imagine
I hope that they put out.
A coming of age film.
Okay, I can do that.
But that starts with someone in their mid-20s.
Yeah.
That's Train Dreams. It's coming of age, but the age that you're coming to is old age.
Yeah, so it's
someone who's realizing that age is becoming more important as those numbers get higher. It was, I guess that's where I related to the film. Not
oh god, well that sounds terrible then.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like it was more.
I don't like that.
It was the end of the film is like, oh god, yeah, that's okay, but it was done in such a way that's like, god, it's poetic, but it's
that's also heavy. How Synecdoche, New York is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I thought about like last week randomly, and I'm like, yeah, I that movie's fucking fantastic.
Definitely
I'd like to watch it again
not anywhere near each other on the same spectrum as far as as far as like visuals or anything. But
what rating do you give Synecdoche, New York? I wonder. I think you have given it a rating actually. I'm pretty sure you
3.5, 4.
I'm looking it up right now. Because I think I recall you having logged it.
Maybe it logged out.
You have logged it, and you gave it 4.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, and corrections and regrets.
Oh,
I was incorrect. You gave Last Voyage 4 stars, like I said. You gave Oppenheimer 4.5. So I was wrong. You did not give it the same rating.
Close enough.
And you gave Barbie 5.
Barbie was fucking amazing.
5, 4.5. Talk to Me got 2.5, and Last Voyage got 4.
But Barbie, what did I rate the Lego Movie? Is it on there?
Let me see. Somehow it has like 6. Will be 4.5.
Okay, so if I were to revise Barbie, I would revise it down to 4.5.
So you did start your Barbie review saying, "I'm sure I am overrating this by half a star." Maybe
look at that!
But right now, I don't care.
Look at that!
Is it perfect? No. This seems to be a running theme of you being like, "This movie's not fucking perfect." Is it for everyone?
It doesn't have to be.
Is it for everyone? No. What? No movie is for everyone. Neither is life, and yet we figure out a way to enjoy it and learn a thing or two about ourselves because of it. And it can be fun as hell.
I think the Lego movie.
And you got to like. Somebody liked that review. Charlie H. Nice.
No idea who that is.
You need to get back onto the
I haven't logged into
Letterboxd
my
one,
personal letterbox
I know.
since I wrote that
Last
shit.
Voyage was the last thing you logged, and that was in 2023.
Yeah. I haven't looked at these, read these, anything.
I enjoy your letterbox whenever you pop in biannually.
I was doing it for the show, but I also let go of that too.
I think, yeah, you need to get on your personal one again, I think. I do enjoy seeing you log stuff on there. I think it's great.
I have to watch stuff first. Let me go give 5 stars to Train Dreams and write about how it's not perfect and not for everyone.
And how you gave it 1 star too many.
Yeah.
You really should.
No, it's definitely not a 4.5. It's, I guess, at most it's 4 in my book. But
I wonder what other people I follow have given it.
But that's only because I really think it's because I started with absolutely no expectations, no understanding. I had no information on this film at all. I had nothing.
Ooh. Well, the lowest rating for that film from a person I follow is 3.5.
There you go.
And
I said 3.5.
Everyone else I follow has given it either 4 stars or 5.
It's really good. It's
Josh Rubin gave it 5 stars and said, "How isn't this man nominated?"
Yeah. No, that's also true, which I didn't even consider that until you said that just now.
Joel Edgerton, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. I really like him a lot, too.
Yeah. I mean, the whole movie is him. That's it.
Joe Lynch gave it 4 out of 5.
If you can find a bootleg or something that's not Netflix, I highly recommend trying to watch that. It just really took me off guard as to how good it was. And I think that goes along with the source material, which is why I'm saying that like the adapted screenplay might be its only chance at getting anything. But like I said, Frankenstein might also, out of the 2 that I've seen, win out there. Anyway, so that's Sunday. So I guess next week we'll recap how we did or didn't do there or whatever.
Yeah.
And if I've
so
seen...
everybody can hear a month after.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I guess April. So yeah, I guess we should do the normal show now.
Right now, everybody's listening to this and they're just like, these guys were way fucking off. Train Dreams swept.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well,
alrighty.
Next week.